Hello, I hope you're well. So, okay, this one. Right. Just imagine you're in church and someone like myself comes forward and says, I have a question. Put your hands up if you would like revival to spread out in this area. Pretty sure in most churches, people put their hands up. Next bit will then be saying, okay, now stand up if you're willing to be that revival. But I think as people are standing up, you have to make it very, very clear that if they're going to go on this journey with God, it's going to be difficult for everyone involved. Well, for example, if this church is going to be the church where revival comes from, the people in the church get serious about their relationship with God and doing things according to His will, His ways, letting go of the things of the world, then there's going to be a lot coming against it. Of course there is, there always is. You're going to have to be in that situation where when God brings truth, you're going to have to be willing to not only accept that truth, but let go of the lies that you have. And one of the hardest points for people in church would be to accept that you've been told lies in church, that teachings that you've had were untrue. Right? But in every church, that will be the case. Lies have been taught, lies have been brought, and yes, lies have been preferred to truth because lies are comfortable. Lies are easy. Easier, definitely. Well, again, as I said before, if you water down the truth, you make that truth a lie. Right? A lot of people won't understand that because they think it's still truth, isn't it? You just water it down. No. You make that truth into something that is no longer truth, therefore a lie. So, of course, you're going to have to accept that lies are part of your understanding. So, you're going to have to let that stuff go. And that won't be easy. No. That won't be easy because, well, it won't. Because we are in a situation where we're in a world where lies are massively preferred. Judging people, condemning people, not forgiving people is preferred. But for revival to come, we have to not judge, not condemn, and forgive. We have to understand who we are in God, and the problem is, again, I did videos recently about that, saying people don't want to do that because it's blinking scary. To understand where you are and who you are is scary. I say I had that situation September 2021, where I saw up on that wall in LL, which LL is that place near Keith in Scotland. You have to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and love your neighbours also. And I said to God, I can't do that unless I know who you are and who I am. Now, again, where did that come from? That point, unless I know who you are and who I am, that came from God. That was never in my understanding before. Yeah. God put that in my mind because, again, I've said to you, this is another point. People have to go to God and ask God to help them to ask the right questions, because when you ask the right questions, you get the answers. But the problem is, generally people in church are asking so many things of God, and and again, what people don't understand is if you don't hear something from God, then that is a reply, and that reply is, what are you asking? Really, ask the right question, you'll get the answer. Many people have had the same experience, whereas years down the line, they've asked the question in a different way, and suddenly, boom, 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 the answers have come. People have to understand that's the way it is. To get the right answers, you have to ask the right questions. And the point of it is, we're continuously asking the wrong questions because we don't understand that prayer is about relationship. When we understand prayer is about spending time with God, and worship is about spending time with God, reading the Word is about spending time with God. All of these things is about spending time with God. It's all about that. And people think it's something else. That prayer is about giving your shopping list or your needs or your wants to God. What, as if God doesn't know already? So all these things need to be done, don't they? Yeah. People need to have understanding about these things because relevant. Yeah. It's all truth when it comes down to it. And that's the point. Truth is something that needs to be fed into people intravenously, maybe. Some slowly, some quickly. Depends on who you are and how quickly you can receive. But the reality is, truth needs to be fed in so that lies are pushed out. And people will get offended. But that's why one of the first things you teach people is what offense is about, where it comes from, and how to deal with it. And then if they get offended by truth, and the fact that they've been believing lies and they believe these lies were true, and they believe, well, the problem is, again, people believe that you're always telling them they're wrong. Well, yes, you're going to be initially, aren't you? If people have believed a load of stuff that isn't true, of course. Initially, it's about speaking truth. And truth will get rid of the lies. But as I say, the point of it is, people then say, oh, you're constantly telling me that what I believe isn't true. Yeah. Because that's the point. When you speak truth, what they're hearing is, you're telling me what I believe isn't true, and people will get offended. And that's the point also, what you need to say to the church. And when people stand up, you do understand that if you go ahead, if you're going to do this, a load of people from the church are going to leave. Because they will get offended and they will leave. That's the reality. That's what's going to happen. So therefore, just help people to be aware of the reality with regards to that. And that, yes, you may very well, in a short space of time, 3 to 4 months, see your congregation size half. And of course, what's going to happen when that happens? Fear comes in. People think maybe we need to stop because we're pushing people out. Yeah, but who are you pushing out? Who's being pushed out? Those who are not of God. Fine, let them leave. Let them go and find another church that's comfortable and safe and not challenging them. As I say, people, generally speaking, people don't want to be challenged. Challenges are difficult, right? Yeah. They're not easy and people don't want them. And again, some people will leave because of that. Okay, let them leave.